Vodnjan? Yes, Vodnjan. Otherwise known in Italian as, what is it? Diano. Yes, Diano. Otherwise known in Croatian as Vodnjan. Near Pula. Pula? Yes, Pula. Why not? Home of the, what is Pula famous for? Huh? Has an amphitheater, yeah, which is kind of spooky. And they have a public library. Yeah. And a university. So, all right, let us, let me think, how do I get this? Yeah. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Glad to see. What's that? Oh, translations. Yes, how are we with translation today? Dear Lalita, are you translating into Hrvatsky? Okay. Anyone else translating? Oh, okay.
Gurudeva, I would like to translate, but I don't have yet a channel.
Soumya Karani is calling. Please give me a channel.
Mataji, as per my information, Anantarama is translating Russian. Am I correct?
Today I'm translating.
Okay, that's I don't know that. Okay, I will send you now. Okay.
Who's translating, so she did a mistake.
All right, are we good now? Just now happening. Okay, didn't bring. I almost said I forgot, but we don't forget anything. I didn't bring with me here my special microphone and special camera, which may explain if I don't sound like I usually sound. But if you can hear me, then that's good. Okay. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitangscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavane Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. He Krishna karuna sindhu dinavando jagatpate gopesha gopika kanta radha kanta namostute tapta kanchana gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So let's jump into Chaitanya Mangala of Lochandas Thakur, shall we?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Which means first we go to share screen, and then we go it's here somewhere. Uh-oh, I have to first find it. It is here. Okay. So, and then run over. Oh, why does it do that? It's like it won't change. Okay, start over. Chat, no. Share. Then, okay, there we go. There we are. Those of you in the live audience, if you have your phones, you can see what we're reading. And if not, say la vie. Okay, we are continuing. This is chapter 2, and we've heard about how Lord Chaitanya's parents, he's not really yet Lord Chaitanya, he's more little Nimai, and about his being suckled by his mother, Shachimata, Ekastana Mukhe, Rahi Rahi Chake, Anguli Nadaye Aro, Lochan Bole Shaba Dev Shiromani Balakarupa Vyavahara. From one breast he drank with his mouth, while the other he grasped with his fingers. Lochanda says, the crest jewel of all the demigods acted like a small boy. Balakarupa. And now we have a new section which has a heading Dana Shi Raga, and then it says Disha. I don't know. Okay, the raga for singing, presumably, is Dana Shi, but I don't know what Tisha means. Tisha, I think, means position or something. Okay, first is a little introductory verse that goes, Are, are, hoi, hano adbhuta kota, shuno gora, gun gata, Shravana Mangala Gora Nama Re. O ki are, hoy, which the translator has rendered as oh, 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 oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times O. Please hear these songs of Lord Gora's glories, should be, songs full of wonderful stories, songs full of holy names auspicious for the ears. So shuno, this is the imperative, listen. And Gaura, we usually transliterate G-A-U-R-A, Gaura, but here it's transliterated G-O-R, long A, Gora. And then gun gata. Gata, I think, means stories. Gun means qualities, so qualities and stories. Shravan Mangala, Gora Nama. And Re is just a kind of exclamation, a happy exclamation. O ki are. Are is, I think, also exclamation. O ki are hoi. Jai. Okay, and then we get several verses in this more easy to chant meter, which is, now the name of it's slipping my mind. Aro eko dina kota shuno savodane apona prakasha prabhu koila jeno mone. Please listen carefully to the story of another day. Listen to the story of how Lord Gora revealed the secret of his true identity. So Aro Ek Din, sort of literally again, one day, Kota, a story, Shuno, listen, Savadane, with attention. Apana Prakash. Apana means his own. Prakash is manifestation. Prabhu Koila Jeno Mone. So his own revelation, Prabhu the Master Koila did. He did his own manifestation. Jeno Mone, I don't know, such in the mind. I don't know. How Lord reveal the secret. Genomane. I don't know how that works there. Ekka grihe. So verse 36. Ekka grihe. Jagannatha grihantare shachi putra kole kori shachi suke shuti achi. In one room was Jagannath Mishra, and in another room, Shachi, her son, in her arms, happily slept. So, ekagrihe, it almost sounds like in one house, but I guess griha can also mean room. So in one room, Jagannath grihantare, griha, antare sachi, in another, grihe antare sachi, putra kole means on the lap, kari sachi suke shuti achi. Shuti achi, I guess, is sleeping. Shunno gore koto shaina samanta barila. Aichan dakiya shachi torasita hoila. How many soldiers filled the empty room? Seeing them, Sachi was frightened. Koto Shainya. So Shainya is soldiers. Bhariva, I guess, filled. Koto, how many? Aichan, I guess, is such number. Aichan Dakiya, having seen, Sachi Tarasita Hoila. So that's an stretched out word. Trasita would be the normal Sanskrit form. Trasita, she was disturbed. Tarasita, hoila, past tense, happened. Then 38, Jota Devagana Asi Shachi Kole Hoite Basaila Ratna Singhasanete Tvarite. From Sachi's arms, these demigods took Lord Gora. They placed him on a jewel throne. Jata Devagan, so many devas. Asi came. Shachi Kole Hoite. Hoite is from, away from the lamp of Sachi. Basaila, they caused to sit, literally. Ratna Singhasanete, on a jewel throne, jewel lion seat. Tvarite, quickly. Abhishek, 39. Abhishek kori nana vidha puja kori, Pradakin kori pare charanete dhari. They performed an abhishek and various kinds of worship. So imagine the situation. Sachi is just kind of minding her own business with her baby in her lap, and suddenly all these demigods are coming and they take the baby. I would think she might scream at that point. What are you doing? So Abhishek Kori, Nana Vidha Puja Kori. So following various procedures, Nana Vidha of puja. Pradakshina Kori, they did parikrama. Pare charanete dari, they offered obeisance, and dhari, they held. It doesn't say they offered obeisance. It says they held on his feet. Pare charanete. Shanka Ganta Dhani Shabe Kore Bar Bar Jai Jai Dhvani Shabe Koriche Bistar. Again and again, they sounded bells and conch shells. They made a great sound of Jai Jai Hari. So Shanka is conch, which if we were very proper, we would pronounce as kunk. And Ganta is a bell, and Dhvani is the sound, the vibration. Shabe Kore, bar bar, again and again, time again, repeating. Jai Jai Dhvani, the sound of Jai. Shabe Koriche Vistar. It's expanded out, Vistar. Everything, everyone expanded out. Jai Jai Jagannath Shobar Palan Kali Juge Mo Shabhare Koribe Poshan. Glory, glory to the Master of the worlds, the protector of the devotees. In Kali Yuga, you have come to rescue us. Brindavana dhanna rasa dibe mo shobare nivedan tomar chorone vishambare. O Lord Vishvambar, our request at your lotus feet is that please grant us the nectar of Vrindavan. So Dibe, give us Mo Shabare, to us all, I guess. And give us the rasa of Vrindavan Dham. Interesting that they're asking a baby for the rasa of Vrindavan Dham. Nivedan, this is request, Tomar Chorane, Vishvambare, O Vishvambare, O Lord of the universe, we have this request at your feet. Daki Shachimata Barambar Chamkita Putra Putra Kori Shachi Bhelo Mahabita. Again and again, Sachi watched all this. She was shocked. Son, son, she called. She was very afraid. Daki, so seeing, Sachimata Barambar, again and again, Chamkita. I guess it's kind of like Chamatkar, so she was shocked. Putra, Putra, son, son. Kori, Sachi Bhelo, Mahabita. She was Mahabita, extremely afraid. I don't know, this Bela, maybe filled with fear. Aponake nahi bhai putra gata pran balake pataya dilo Jagannathastan. She was not afraid for herself, but only for her son, who was her very life. She grabbed the boy and took him to Jagannath Mishra. So she grabbed him from the demigods, I guess. Give him back. Aponake, so for herself, nahi bhaya, she was not afraid. Putra agata or putragata, pran, he was her life. Balake pataya, I guess means she grabbed him, she took him. And Dila, she gave Jagannath Stan in the place of Jagannath Mishra, her husband. So we can stop there. 44, continue with 45. Yeah. So just imagine the scene. Okay, now we have to change the setting. And for that, we have to stop share. And then go here. And go to sound for musicians. And then share. And then again, look for where did it go? Changes position. Now it disappeared. Acrobat, here it is. Okay. Are we ready with our band? Our tabla, we have tabla players here today, at least one playing one half of the tabla. I don't know the technical names of the big and the small type. Okay, this first part I think we do without any rhythm because it's the first verse, because it's preparatory. Hare 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 Hano Abutta Kota Shunagora Gungata Shravana Mangala Gora Nama Re Oki Are Hore. Okay, now Ara Ekadina Kota Shuna Sabada Ara Dina Kata Shuna Sabada Apana Prakasha Prabhu Koila Jena Mane Ekko Grihe Jagannatha Grihantare Shachi Putra Kole Kore Shachi Sukhe Shukti Ache Shunya Gore Kota Shanya Samanta Gorila Aikshana Dakia Shachi Tarasita Hoila. Oops. Jata Deva Gana Asi Sachi Kole Hoide Vasaino Ratna Sinhasanete Twadite. Take some time to catch up. Abhisheka Kori Nana Vidha Puja Kori Abhisheka Kori Nana Vidha Kori Pradakshina Kori Pari Charanite Dari Shankha Ganta Dvani Shabe Hare Barabada Jaya Jaya Dvani Shabe Koriche Vistara Jaya Jaya Jagannatha Shavarapala Kali Juge Moshavade Horive Poshana Vrindavana Dhanna Rasa Dive Moshavade Nivedantom Archarane Vishambhare Daki Sachimata Barambara Chankita Putra Putra Korishachi Bela Mahabhita Apane no Apanake Nahi Bai Putra Gata Pran Balake Pataya Dila Jagannatha Stan Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Adi Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo.
Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol.
Srila Lochandas Thakur ki jai.
Hey,
Shri Sachimata ki jai.
yeah,
Demigods ki jai.
yeah,
Nimai Vishvambar ki jai.
yeah.
Okay, so welcome again, those of you who have joined later. We're again less number online because half of everybody is right here in Vodnjan. So, and again, nice to be with you all on this rainy day. Let me see. Now, before I forget, I have to embarrass our hosts because today is their 25th wedding anniversary. Ajitendra and Amoga Bhakti. They're still smiling.
Still alive.
And they're still alive. And Moga Bhakti is going to get a t-shirt that says, I survived 25 years. Yeah. Well, it is quite an accomplishment. A good example. Yeah. Speech, anything for our audience? Huh? Yeah. Okay. Now, another thing before I forget, let's see if I can get this up. Yeah. Is I wanted to share a couple of links. Which may interest you, and then again, they might not interest you. One of them is for the text of ISKCON's very recently approved Constitution. You might not have heard ISKCON since years. They've been working on a constitution. Why? Because Srila Prabhupada said ISKCON should have a constitution. And this was worked on by a committee with a few members changing over the years, including some with legal training and so on. And this last February, it was approved by the GBC. I've read through it, and yeah, it seems reasonable to me for what it's worth. But, you know, when you have a worldwide institution and you want to keep it going, not just, you know, for a few years, but you want it to keep going on and on, then I think it makes sense to do something like this. And they explain that this is not set in stone, that it could have some changes if it's seen that it needs changes. So that'll be one link I'll just post now. And the other, related, so to speak, is called, it's an article called Justice Ministry Europe. And this was posted on ISKCON News some time ago. And I think it was written by Devashri Radhika Dasi, who's been very involved in developing this. And it's describing a procedure. If someone has a problem, a complaint about the organization, one person or a group, if there's an issue and they're not finding a way to resolve it, then there's a procedure. And it has several, it's also kind of bureaucratic, but okay, but it's something. So anyway, it's a kind of resource you might want to be aware of. Let's see, copy and Zoom. Oh, what happened here now? Where do we put this now? We put it in chat. Yeah, chat, and then, yeah. There's also, for the Constitution on that website, there's a frequently asked questions section you can see, and it's explaining, you know, the background of it and various questions which you might have about it. And as I said, the Constitution is there for you to read, for anyone to read. And I should also mention, before it was finalized, they went through at least one time, more recently, I think earlier they did also, is they sent out the draft to many senior devotees asking for their response, suggestions, etc. I think I had one or two responses. And so it's not just been done by some small group and then approved by some small group. There's been some engagement with the community. Okay, that's maybe the less fun stuff. And also, before I forget, it's what's coming up starting tomorrow is Purushottama Masa. Purushottama Masa, also known as Adhika Masa. And for the astrological and astronomical explanation, you can turn to Venugopal Prabhu. Is he there hiding behind it? I thought I recognized the top of your head. He can probably give a detailed explanation. All I understand is it's the way that the lunar calendar gets resynchronized with the solar calendar more or less every 3 years. Would that be an appropriate way of putting it? Venu?
32 months.
Huh?
Every 32 months.
Every 32 months. Yeah. Because the moon goes slower than the sun. No, it goes faster than the sun. The cycle is shorter, right? Yeah. And if we just let it go, then at some point it would be quite confusing, right? In Western system, they don't do anything like that, do they? This intercalary extra month.
No. Since Julius Caesar introduced this kind of calendar, it's pretty much the same.
Julius Caesar introduced what calendar?
It's actually around the time of Holi.
The New Year was around the time of Holi. Go.
It's like 1st of January. Before was like when the new life starts, there was a new year. Now it's like and the worst winter.
So all the trouble started with Julius Caesar. It's all his fault. Okay. What I wanted to say about this month is that I was fortunate to be in Vrindavan throughout this month in 2001, before 9/11. And it was interesting because there are 3 temples in particular that had special observances. And the most interesting temple was not a Gaudiya temple, it was the Radha Vallabha temple of Hitarivamsh, where every day they had a special festival for the deities, including one day, I remember, they had Noka Lila. They set up like a Krishna, Radha and Krishna are in a boat, and they actually flooded, not the whole temple room, but they set up a kind of little rail, and then around the deities it was water. It was kind of cool. And the idea of this month, one idea is it's time for the priests to not have to do any mundane rituals for people, for families. So no samskaras are done, no weddings, no for children. None of those things go on. So the priests have so to say, more time. And what they have more time for is making some fun with Krishna, some festival. And one day I walked in to the Radha Vallabha temple, and I saw Krishna dressed. He had on some sort of crown, which had little flower garlands hanging down over his face. And I asked, what's going on here? Oh, today Radha and Krishna are getting married. So they go through this whole, ceremony. That's a rather common thing in South India. There's a special mandap in the Sri Rangam temple, which is for performing the wedding of the deities. So they'll do a whole, just like any wedding, but they'll do it for, Lakshmi Narayan, for Radha Krishna getting married. And let's see, there was one other festival I saw. But also during that entire month, in that temple and in one very small temple just across the street from that temple, which is connected with Gopal Bhatta Goswami, they told me. So they're kind of have not a Radha Vallabha, but a Vallabha style of worship, Vallabhacharya. So, and also in the Radharaman temple, 3 temples, every day they do what's called, what do they call it? Sanji, I think. So they make a platform in the back alcove, sort of a meter and a half wide, maybe, with powdered colors and it's a different Leela of Krishna that's illustrated with powdered colors. The pujaris will make this, they'll spend several hours making it. And the temple remains closed until they're done. Then they open and everyone comes and they have darshan. And then that night, they destroy it and they start over the next day. That's cool. It's fun. So what else do we know about this month? It's a month for devotional service. Yes. Yeah.
Counted like if somebody follows any of these 2 or 2 together.
They're counted what? Say again, I didn't hear.
If somebody follows any of these 2 Ekadashis, either 1 or 2, he will achieve the result of following all the Ekadashis during the year.
Oh.
And in the end, he will have devotion to Lord Krishna.
Jai. So we just heard from Venugopal Prabhu that there are 2 Ekadashis during this month. If one follows even one of them or 2 of them, it counts as following all the Ekadashis of the year, and one will go.
He will achieve devotion to Lord Krishna.
He will achieve devotion to Lord Krishna. It's guaranteed. Does this mean we can just forget about all the other Ekadashis?
Didn't say that.
Didn't say that.
It's Padmini and Parama Ekadashi.
Which and which?
Padmini.
Padmini and Parama. Padmini and Parama Ekadashis. Okay. So, does that mean we have to follow them like in Hari Bhakti Vilasa, fasting all night, staying up?
That means eating only once day before
Yeah.
and no eating during the Ekadashi, staying vigil all night,
Okay, so we do have to do the whole thing.
eating only once the next day.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Not cheap.
It's not cheap. Okay, to repeat, the process to get that credit on the day before these Ekadashis, you have to eat only one meal. Yeah, the day before. And the day after this Ekadashi, only one meal. And during Ekadashi, you can eat all day. No. No, you have to completely fast. That means near jala, right? You can take water.
Jala.
It's jala Ekadashi.
Like day before, one should not eat food which is made by others.
Oh, don't eat food made by others the day before.
Plates.
Don't eat from a brass plate.
Some restrictions like no how you call aubergine.
No eggplant.
Some restriction for the food.
And you have to face east when you eat or something. No, okay.
Such conversation with Maharaj Yudhishthira and Krishna. Krishna is explaining to Maharaj Yudhishthira how to do it.
Okay. Where is this?
Some Purana.
Some Purana. Skanda Purana. Okay. Right, good. So, very nice. It's nice we have these so many celebrations. I think it keeps us remembering Krishna. Purushottama, Purusha Uttama, the top person. So it's very nice. Okay, what else? Anyone have anything you'd like to share? I have to say, today we're going to end early because today is when I have another event starting a little over 1 hour from now. So, yeah. Otherwise, we have a request from Amoga Bhakti to say something about chant and be happy. Is that still your request, or? Yes. Okay, so first thing is, I looked it up to see, is this something Prabhupada actually said? And yes, he did. So let's see if I have it here. Well, I'll read this. This is from a lecture December 1st, 1969 in London. So just jumping into the lecture, he has quoted Bhagavad Gita 1854, Brahmabhuta Prasannatma, na shochati na kankshati, samasarveshu bhuteshu. And then he doesn't quote the last line. Your life will be sublime, he says. So practice it. Make an experiment of this mantra. You will be happy. Our mission is to see everyone sarve sukhino bhavantu. Be everyone happy. So that bhavantu is, it's in the imperative form, plural, but it's called benedictive. Let there be. And sarve sukhino, let everyone be happy. We are not here to exploit somebody. We are not selling this mantra, but we are distributing free. Please take it and be happy. That is our mission. And then he quotes Cheto Darpanam Arjanam, Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidya Badhu Jivanam. And then he stops there. And he goes on saying, your life will be full of knowledge, transcendental, blissful knowledge. Vidya Vadhu Jivanam, Anandam Buddhivardhanam. And the transcendental bliss will increase. Ambudhi. Ambudhi means ocean. As the ocean increases on the full moon night, similarly, when your knowledge will be like full moon, your ananda will also increase. So these things will be achieved. Param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Quote, all glories to the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, unquote. So please accept our request and try to chant and be happy. So actually, you could say the full phrase is try to chant and be happy. So it's not chant and be happy, it's try to chant and be happy. He's, you could say, being, expressing in a humble way. And then again in Bhubaneswara, in 1977, no, wait. No, this is in Mayapur. Oh, no, it's not Prabhupada saying, it's Tamal Krishna Goswami. So it's a conversation, and what's the context? I don't know, some. Adi Keshava says, in one place, they say that if you read your perfection of yoga, you will sleep better at night. And Tamal Krishna says, in the advertisement for the perfection of yoga, it says that one of the results will be, he says here, quote, at night you will fall asleep immediately. What? This is the benefit of reading Perfection of Yoga. I mean, that could be misunderstood as you read this book and you will be so bored that you will fall asleep. Anyway, Prabhupada laughing says, but he admitted, I don't know who he is referring to. And everyone laughs. And then Tamal Krishna says, the general idea is just like this page, quote, chant and be happy, unquote, but there is practically no devotees shown. It's showing, I don't know what's exactly his point, the context. Chanting makes me calmer, chanting makes me more perceptive, chanting makes me more open-minded. So these are all ... break. The ultimate goal of chanting is to instill love of God, but that thing is never mentioned. Break. Brahmananda says then he would approve. That was the test. Yeah, this is out of context. Tamal, Harisori, Tamal, Bhavananda. When does Prabhupada say something? So they're discussing, I think, about the publishing of maybe a new book, and Prabhupada's just listening. Anyway, there's a reference there to chant and be happy. And those seem to be the only ones that I could find in the database. So it seems to be mainly from this book, Chant and Be Happy, that that phrase has been perpetuated. But Prabhupada did say, but what did he say? He said, try to chant and be happy. That's what he actually said. Yeah. And question?
I'm just came to my mind that chant and be happy is this this chant part, because it's for our soul spiritual part, we have to chant, and this be happy, is this something what we are responsible for, because it's on a mind level, could be like Prabhupada said, chant, this is the process, and be happy, because as I know, we have many, I would say, not positive words about ourselves, right? That we are not good enough and, don't belong. So this is part which we need to take care of. It's not part of the japa, I think I'm just speculating, so I'm asking, is this our responsibility to, to work on this and
work on being happy?
Yeah. And then because it would be, because we are like free of this, then japa holy name came, and we can hear it, but because of those stories which we have, we cannot hear the holy name. So in that sense, I'm asking, is it this end part from our responsibility, or is just something?
Okay, now do you want to repeat into microphone your question on this machine, or do you want to unmute? That's how we should have done it.
Second, we do where can I go from yours and give it? I think it's not easy. Okay. Let me just find here.
We're just trying to get the audio. It already shows. Oh. It looks like you're unmuted from here.
And I could send me an invitation to unmute myself, please. Не знаю, если на телефон колко на компютер.
I think we heard the question quite well, Guru Maharaj.
You heard?
Yeah,
Okay.
quite well. So,
to which I would give the brief answer that yes, why not? You can think of it that way. The context in which Prabhupada says that is he's quoting Cheto Darpana Marjanam, that verse, in which toward the end it says Anandam Buddhivardhanam. So what it's saying is there is a result from chanting, from Sankirtanam, Krishna Sankirtanam. And that result is that there will be an Anandam Buddhivardhanam. There is the Vardhanam, the expansion of Ananda to an Ambudhi, to an ocean. And it's interesting, Prabhupada says it's like when the full moon is there, then the ocean rises. But we can also feel responsible that I should do the needful to be happy, not put unnecessary obstacles in my way, and make it, so to say, unnecessarily difficult for Krishna to give us that ocean. Yeah, I would say like that. Yeah. There's something here from on the chat. Let's see, Rajamohini, are you there? Do you want to read out or speak your question, or should I just read it out?
Hare Krishna, Gurudev.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, I can read it out if you like.
Okay.
There was recently a course on samskaras and leading yagyas in the devotee community nearby, and we applied with three other ladies, and then we got the reply that since it's not part of our tradition that ladies lead such yagyas, then so it won't be open to ladies. And so I will have a conversation soon with the devotees who are organizing, but I was just gonna start researching, and I just couldn't understand by myself why this would be an area that ladies would be potentially excluded from. So since you have so much experience and so much understanding, I just wanted to ask if it's fitting for a public Sangha. I wasn't sure if it's fitting. That's why I wrote first.
Yeah. Now you put me on the spot. Let's see.
Sorry.
Why is this an area that ladies would be excluded? Are they excluded from conducting the yajna? Is that the point? Yeah.
Yes.
It's interesting that I read some time ago about a kind of movement in Maharashtra in India of ladies performing yajna. Because it seems that it is traditional that ladies are not performing yajna. Now, why that is, I mean, that probably gets into various layers, I would say, layers of reasons and non-reasons. We could put a general label on the whole tradition as it's patriarchal. It's a very patriarchal tradition. And then why it's patriarchal? Well, how far do we want to go down that rabbit hole? That's, of course, been quite a difficult issue in general in our society, as perhaps most of you know, if not all. It's been an issue about women giving initiation, diksha. And there's arguments have been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for years. And the GBC, this last meeting in February, they said, we're holding again. They're worried, they're afraid. And there's been a quite strong reaction to their holding off and saying, no, you have to make a decision. Come on. You've got to stand up and make a decision one way or another about this. Whether or not they make a decision, I can say on that, in that regard, did I already tell? Maybe not. My god sister Rukmini, Rukmini Devi, who is my senior, she joined ISKCON when she was 16 years old. And she has 2 or 3 aspiring disciples, and she wants to initiate them in September. At the same time, she wants to respect the institutional considerations. So she has asked me to be, I don't know if we even have a designation, sort of a Ritvik. So she's asked me to come, and we are going to have a ceremony in New York where I will be present and she will be present. And so I call it a work around. When you have an institution saying yes, no, maybe, then we say, okay, whatever, here's what we're going to do. Take it or leave it. And so that's our plan. GBC North America said they are going to make a decision soon, one way or another, whatever the global GBC says. So never a dull moment in the Hare Krishna movement. Now, that was about initiation, but I mention that because that's kind of the bigger issue in ISKCON at present. And as for performing yagyas, I personally don't see a problem with it, is what I would say. There will be someone saying, no, it can't be done because of this, that, or the other thing. A lot of concern seems to revolve around some notions of purity or impurity and considerations of when women are having their menses, but whether that extends over to when they're not having, I don't know. I don't know the whole logic or illogic behind it. As I said, I think there are layers. And when I read the arguments against why women should not be Diksha Gurus, what I see is a message. There's a kind of joke, you can't get there from here. So you're on a road somewhere and you're lost. So you ask the local farmer, how do I get to such and such place? And they kind of look at you and they say, can't get there from here. Sort of like, forget it, and just go back home. So what I think is going on when they're quoting this or that, very technical point of Shastra is they're kind of basically saying you can't get there from here. And what I think Srila Prabhupada is saying, if we look at his mission in the bigger picture of his mission, which was not to be just another Indian Hindu thing, but a world mission, then you can get there from anywhere. But you have to listen more deeply. Yes. No.
If I may add,
Yes.
like incident or situation in 1971, Srila Prabhupada told or wrote to Vaikuntanath and Sharadiya, they were in Guyana preaching in 1971, and then they were husband and wife, and he was going to get second initiation, Brahman initiation. So Srila Prabhupada told Sharadiya, the wife, to perform the yagya, to make the yagya, to perform the yagya, and to give him, and to make the ceremony, give him the thread.
There you go. Yeah, which is this bigger picture in which, in that particular circumstance, he's saying, yeah, just do the needful. And what I think Prabhupada would say the needful is for the mission to spread as far and wide as possible, to attract as many people as possible, and to put aside the various gates and moats which may have been there in the tradition for whatever reasons that are inhibiting the spread. So that, I think, that's how I see it now. I don't know, maybe when I'm older, I'm already so old, well, maybe, who knows, one could change one's mind, but I don't think so. In this case, because I see absolutely no reason why my god sister Rukmini Devi should not be accepted and respected as a guru. She's acting as a guru. Why shouldn't she be acknowledged as such? That's how I see it. One of my friends in India, one devotee, he's a sannyasi, Indian sannyasi. In December, we were chatting, and he's from South India, so his mentality is very traditional. He's a wonderful devotee, wonderful preacher, but he was saying, how can women initiate men? They don't have a thread. How can they give a thread if they don't have a thread? And I was thinking, well, all they have to do is take the thread and hand it. That's my Western mentality. Does that kind of address your question, Rajamohini? I see that Rindapati, do you want to comment on this? I see you wrote briefly.
I just said to Rajamohini that was a bit of a tragedy that they experienced that. And we kind of discussed that we could catch up afterwards to discuss it further if she wanted. But since you're asking, in so many words, in brevity, maybe. Firstly, there is Vedic rituals, and there are what we call agamic rituals, which are tantric rituals.
Pancharatra, yeah.
Pancharatric rituals. So, according to Vedic rituals, we find that there were Brahmana women who were called Brahmavadinis who would perform Homa. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Kapila Muni's mother performs the Payovrata, and she herself performs the Yagya. She has Brahmanas come and do puja as well, but the Srimad Bhagavatam suggests that she did the rituals herself and performed the Vrata herself. So there is an example of Kadamba Muni's wife who, is it Kadamba Muni? Yeah, Vashyapa Muni's one or the other, can't remember. Performing the Yagya herself. We also find various different Brahmavadinis. Sita, for example, maintains the sacrificial altar, which was the fire altars, when Rama was out. So she maintained the fire. And in the Vedas, there is also when somebody gets married, on the fourth day of the marriage, there is a special homa that takes place, which is called Upasana Homa. And that Upasana Homa is maintained by the couple inside the griha, inside the house, the grihapatya's home. And the woman actually performs a small homa every day with rice in that fire sacrifice to maintain that sacrifice every day. So when the food grains are cooked inside the home, the wife will go to that fire and offer some grains 4 times into that homa, into that fire to maintain the fire and keep it going also. Of course, the man has his duties as well in maintaining that fire, but this is again Vedic, which means we have 2 streams of thought here within Hinduism, if you like. We're going to just run with the umbrella term for the time being. It's self-imposed and problematic, however.
Yes.
But it is a problem that we have those people who are very caste bound, thinking that one has to be born into Brahmin families in order to be Brahmin. Or we take the stance that we as Gaudiya Vaishnavas take, following the line of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and a wonderful guru who also has a very liberal mindset also. So that then encourages us to understand that this is not a caste-bound birthright for an individual, but one which is, guna karma vibhagasha, that one by qualities will become a Brahmana or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or a Shudra, etc., etc. So, having seen these two and understanding that we are of the kind of more liberal mind frame with the non-rigid approach to Varnashrama, here then anybody can, approach the fire, which means if somebody has a Brahminical inclination, can learn how to do Vedic rituals, fire rituals, for example. So, in view of that, then if men and women are receiving Gayatri and also receiving mantras from a guru, they are also learning to worship the deity and things as well. Out of many women, there will be some women who have a Brahminical inclination and therefore are considered to be Brahmana women. And same with men. And that would be the same applicable for men also. And if they are going to be doing deity worship and things as well, then yes, they can perform the fire ritual. We find that there's Shastric evidence that supports that women did fire ritual. There are some sampradayas, for example, the Gayatri Parivar, which is a more recent sampradaya, it's a 19th century establishment. But their women also receive the Brahmin thread because they believe that there is evidence, even, archaeological findings we find even in the temples, we see women wearing Brahmin threads.
Yeah, I was thinking too.
Yeah, so we have
sculptures.
of women wearing Brahmin threads. Now, men have to then wear, say, I mean, in ISKCON they give two Brahmin threads to even brahmacharis. However, the classical tradition is that single men wore one set of Brahmin threads, which are 3 strands of thread. And the ancient, if you go back to the actual sutras itself, the Griha Sutras, the actual thread, it was just a simplification of an upper cloth that was worn during a ritual cloth that was worn at the time of when a homa would take place.
Right, because they
And
couldn't afford a piece of cloth, so they got a string.
yeah, so just having 3 was symbolic of having the thread. It's also very hot as well, in southern
Yeah.
India and other places. So in order to be able to sit with fire and having expensive material, which was, not so readily available sometimes for everybody, particularly people who were poor, then 3 threads were largely symbolic. Now, women also don't not were only wearing the Brahmin thread, but they also wear what we call, which is known as the Brahma Sutra or Yagyopavita, Jano, if you want to go into Hindi. But they also wore the Mangal Sutra as well, which is also a thread that is worn by married women. So married women also wear a sutra, but it's called a Mangal Sutra, whereas the men would wear the Yagyopavita or the Brahma Sutra. So yes, we have various types of ritual kind of symbols that we wear, and women did wear them. I personally believe through my research that the thread was switched over for men to then wear 2 sets of threads on behalf of the woman at the time of marriage, was largely because when you have children and you're doing breastfeeding and things, you're now wearing a lot of threads and things, and a baby. It's not a very practical scenario,
Right.
right? It can be potentially dangerous as well. If you get a baby tangled up around your neck, that's not so great. So, and
Choke
also
the baby to death.
exactly, and I don't know if anybody, maybe women are not familiar with this, maybe married women who spend a lot of time with their Brahmin husbands, or those who are the threaded men are in their lives. They have to take the Brahmin thread and wrap it around their ear, and some people will even push it into their entire turban to keep this Brahma Sutra clean at the time of going to the bathroom. What to speak of, in other circumstances. So when you have children who are kind of, didn't have nappies in those days, or, used to wear cloth,
Yeah, that
and
makes
women,
sense.
yeah, just practically on a practical note, And
Mm.
also just women who also had to have a menstrual cycle and things as well. Now, say for example, you're a Brahmin and you have been told that you have to perform a wedding on such and such muhurta, at such and such time, and then a woman has her menstrual period during that period of time, then she can't sit on the altar to do that ceremony. So men became the preferred Purohita, or the preferred person who would be sitting there, because they didn't have a menstrual cycle that they would go through at the time.
Right.
Usually when children go running off to go, I mean, it can be different in different scenarios. I'm not generalizing here, and I'm not saying that, everybody fits all into, one size or fits all. But generally speaking, when a child is, needing his mother, a mother, for example, or the child has some difficulties, the first thing they do is they go running to the mother, right?
Mm.
The first thing that they do is go running to the mother. So sitting in a fire ritual, which can take a very long time, not having to then get up during that period of time and having children, it's
If
kind
the
of
child suddenly runs into her lap, that can be a problem.
that can be a problem. It can be dangerous. It's too close to the fire. It's all really, I personally believe it's all largely logistics. It's about orientation of family life and things as
Yeah,
well.
good point.
So that is my point about Vedic yajnas, is that yes, some women will become Brahmana women and will be able to perform the Upasana Homa. It's a fire that's kept lit inside the home from the time of that person's marriage all the way up until his death. And that fire is the same fire that is then taken to burn the body of the persons who die as
Yeah.
well. But now nobody can
Jitendra, do you have a fire that you started when you were married 25 years ago? Whoops.
So many Brahmanas are not doing this also because it's not practical. Some people keep a lamp lit. There's some South Indian Brahmanas that are people who I know, they keep a lamp lit. But ordinarily in the Vedic home, there would be the Yagya Shala would be actually constructed within the confines of the home in the eastern or northeastern direction, which is known as the Agni Kona of the home, where fire is present, and fire would be consistently lit there and maintained as a part of the rituals for cooking purposes, for example, when you have a Vastu Homa, there is different fires that are used at different times for different ceremonies. Some of them is a Yuva Agni. So if you have a festival and you have, something that is it, then you can use a new fire, which means you generate a fire either by rubbing sticks together or generating it by using a magnifying glass. That fire is known as Yuva Agni or Yovana Agni, and they're to do with things that have a lot of energy and vitality. And then old fires, for example, that you take from the Upasana Homa, or one from the kitchen that would be used for doing things that are going to be more kind of ground-based stuff, like Vastu Puja, for example. If you have a new home, or not a new home, but if you have like a yearly annual ceremony inside the home for pacifying the elements of the home, Vastu Puja, then you'd use a different fire at that time. So these are the kind of logistics. But to speed up this conversation here, because I'm conscious of time and I'm also conscious of people, some people are not interested in this also. That there is also Pancharatric samskaras, and there's Pancharatric Diksha, which is where a guru gives mantras to people, and as a part of the Purushottama or the chanting of that mantra, it may culminate in a final ritual, which is a Dashansha Homa, or 1/10 of the japa that has been done, is done made as fire offerings, or as festivals in a temple, or whatever those reasons may be. And there is no restriction actually as to who does those ceremonies. One can even be from any class or any background. They may not identify as Brahmanas. They might be coming from a Shudra background. There's also nothing wrong, by the way, in being a Shudra, because they're also the feet of the Lord. In the Purusha Sukta, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we hear that the universal body of the Lord has different parts of the Lord, and the feet are the highest, point of worship, for the devotee. And Shudras have the opportunity to represent the lotus feet of the Lord as well. So they also have, in Maharashtra, they make a point where anybody, all Shudras are allowed to go and touch the deity's feet. So if you ever go to Pandharpur, for example,
Yes, I did.
and you go right into the graha, into the
Right in there.
onto the altar, and you can touch God. You can touch the deity. Now
Yeah.
that has its own detrimental problem because the feet are
Feet get
starting to
warm.
wear away. Yes, yes, it has its problems. But the point is that there is this kind of universal concept that is there, and anybody can perform a Pancharatrik Homa if they have Pancharatrik Diksha, which from what we understand from Srila Prabhupada's books is that we are a Pancharatrik system of worship. And so, therefore, I'm kind of concerned that there are banning women from doing fire sacrifices. But I think there should also be some kind of qualification that, or some kind of, I don't know if any meritocracy can be applied to this type of thing and how it would be. I haven't quite figured that one out.
But that's another topic in a sense.
Yeah,
The,
yeah.
the general point is it's theoretically quite possible. I'm sort of, thank you, this is very helpful and illuminating. I'm kind of watching the clock because I'm going to end everything now because I need a little break before my next meeting of the Gaudiya Studies group. And therefore, I will say, let me just check next week. Where am I? Next week, I'm going to be in Poland, aren't I? Yeah, but I think we can meet. Yeah. So I will say, all of you, thank you so much for joining us. And thanks as ever to our translators. It's a big yagya to translate. And we'll see you in a week. So I will say, chant and be happy, or try to chant and be happy, and stay safe and stay sane. And Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Gaur Premanande.
His Holiness Krishna Kshetra Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai Guru Maharaj.
Jai Guru Maharaj. Jai.
Jai Guru.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Guru Maharaj ki jai.